Warning: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act, 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. All people are presumed innocent until proven guilty in the court of law, and I do reserve my First Amendment right to express myself.
Okay, everybody, welcome back. Oops, wrong button. Um, but anywho, so anyway, does my screen seem off? I have a little net flying around. Ugh. Okay, so anywho, before we get into it, I do want to say, don't forget, visit the website, um, vividlifestyles-vvls.com. Do that, or you can go to the QR code right there at the top. I just switched it back. That'll go to the website. Now, on the website, we have lots of different things. You can volunteer, you can donate, you can join our book reading club, you can join our volunteer club, you can join. Um, I'm setting up a victims, just for victims of abuse or or survivors of abuse. I'm doing a special one, but those are going to be only on invite. So if you do want to join that, you do have to fill out an application showing that you are a victim of abuse, because that is going to be a sensitive. Again, like I said, it's only going to be on invite, so we have to have documentation showing or some type of documentation or information showing that you are in some type of abusive situation. And I don't know why this thing keeps unclipping. It's hard for me to clip it in, but apparently it's easy to come undone. I don't know. Okay. Anywho, so again, don't forget, or if you want to donate, you can go to, again, the website QR code at the top. Go there, click the donate button. You can go to Cash App, which is down below, which is money sign Vivid Lifestyles, or you can go to the PayPal link, which is also paypal.com/donate question mark hosting underscore all that. Just copy and paste it into your web browser. I'll also have that information in um the description box as well. I'll go back and add it in there. um Again, we are having a fundraiser. I went ahead and switched the QR code back. That is to the fundraiser that goes to the Panda Express fundraiser. All you got to do is go to pandaexpress.com or download the app. Again, it's all through Panda Express. On Halloween, if you order for pickup or delivery, this is nationwide. So if you are in California, Arizona, Maine, New Hampshire, Washington, Oregon, anywhere, Tennessee, Florida, across the map, order from pandaexpress.com or through the app for pickup or delivery. Enter the code 9006879 in the fundraiser box at checkout, and Panda Express would donate some of those sales and proceeds to Vivid Lifestyles VVLS. And at Vivid Lifestyles VVLS, they help victims and survivors of abuse with safe temporary housing, medical, mental health care, hygiene, personal hygiene, food, clothing, transportations, things like that, or any other necessary resources we can give them, like as far as getting their passports or anything like that. We try to assist them in that. So this is definitely something you do want to do. And again, Halloween um, is the best time to do it. This is the best time to keep your kids in. I know everybody wants that free candy, but don't put your kids at risk for some free candy. There's a lot of sex offenders in the area, and that is what these next episodes, well, for the week, these live episodes. I'm also going to try to do recordings as well, but as far as live recordings, me going live, I want to just do from the sex offenders list here locally in San Antonio. So again, if you are in the area, or jeez Louise, I know this thing didn't shrink on me. Did I get it? I think I got it. Okay. So, jeez. But anyway, so we are gonna go, if you are local in San Antonio, we are gonna go over some of the areas, kind of view the map, the sex offender map. Again, this is all public information. I replay my warning. Everybody was innocent until proven guilty. Obviously, if they're on this list, they were proven some type of guilt to whatever offenses that they were charged with. So again, go to the website, please donate, or go to Cash App, donate any way you can so we can help survivors and victims of abuse. Again, this Halloween, please do not go out trick-or-treating. It is not the safest. I've already been looking at some of the people on the list, and a lot of these people literally stay across a street from an elementary school. So I don't know. It's remarkable. Like, I don't understand how they can get away with things like this. But again, don't put your kids in safety. Stay home. Order Panda Express. You save their lives as well as save another life that is in an abusive situation. So let's go ahead and I will share that information if I have it up. Hopefully I have it up. Did it go? No, not that one. Oh, let me find my page because now I don't know where it went. Is it this one? Oh, it's behind my actual. Let's make this a little smaller so I can see underneath. Okay, there we go. Now, okay, share screen. Okay, so this right here is the map. If you go to the Texas Public Sex Offender website, all you gotta do is just either put in your zip code, your city, anything near you, and it'll pull them up. As you can see here, let me make it a little bit bigger. I'll make me small, make the list bigger. As you can see here, there's roughly, if you look right here, there's 136 and just in this one area, 124, 113, 111, 70, 25, 7. And then of course these blue ones are with the question mark are questionable. We can't guarantee that that's where they're at. So again, this is just in the San Antonio. Again, I went here. You just, I just enter San Antonio. Like again, you can just enter it by your city, by your zip code. It'll bring up how many are just in that zip code. So you can see 5 here, 2 here, 2, 3. This one has quite a bit, but these are unmapped, so they're not too sure. They could be in multiple locations. I'm assuming 3. So there's multiple, obviously. So the ones that I did find just right off the back that I know, I'll let you see: Ingram, Fenris, Callahan, Majestic. Fenris is too far. Has to be somewhere in here. Hemp Hill. See if I can see him. Oh, see, I didn't see her before. Trying to remember because I think this is the street. It should go all the way to. See Hemp Hill. Okay, let's do 78238. Is this okay? Oak Hill. This is the show I was looking for. So right here is Oak Hill. If you look at it, Viva Max, Town Hill, there's a school. This is going to be the Oak Hill, the Ingram Ranch Apartments. And there's like a school like literally right across the street from it, an elementary. Of course, it's not going to show it here, but if we look them up, Henderson, Michael Henderson, see Oak Hill Road, 2400 Oak Hill Road. We'll do this together, guys. Let's look it up. I'm going to go to a different. Oak Hill Road. So as you can see here, let's go to Street View. So these are the apartments I was talking about. These are the Ingram Ranch. This is on the opposite side. Why did it show me the opposite side? So again, this is 2400. This is the main apartment complex. Again, Ingram Ranch apartments. So if you look just right here, further down the street, maybe about 100 yards or so, you see a daycare, literally almost next door, 2300. And there's the apartments 2400. And this elementary school is right here. And these are where 2 sex offenders live at. In those apartments. Different apartment, obviously apartment numbers, but same apartment complex. And that's what I'm saying. The school's literally just like right over here. There's a daycare like right in here. The school's right in here. Literally just down the block. Kids can actually walk to and from this location to these apartments easily. For, you know, 4th graders, 5th graders, I'm sure parents allow them to walk home from school, or even meet them halfway. But again, this Halloween, I wouldn't let them out. Don't let them trick or treat. Again, not in this area. Because again, 2400 is literally right there. That's the back, that's the side. That's where the beginning of the apartment complex start. And again, you can see it in view. There's your daycare right there, and your school begins right there, about a block away. So, and spooky events. What's up, spooky events? I was too busy. I was into my map right now. Welcome, spooky events. I am doing good. How about you? I am just showing all these sex offenders where they're kind of located so that way we can be safe on Halloween here in San Antonio. So again, let's go back to the list. And again, you could just do this by either just the entire city or your zip code. So again, let's start with San Antonio. And again, all these 136, 111, 45, 68, 119. It goes on and on. So what I will do is every day this week, I will spend a good time live, about a good hour or two. We will just be researching, just kind of going through. If you have a specific zip code or near a specific address, let's just say the actual street name. If you want to check on your family members, let's say they live off of Timber, let's say Grissom in San Antonio, 78 Grissom Road, 78251. And we'll kind of go there and you can see who is kind of by there. Go a little further out and you can see who's in the general area. See, this is still not too far. You could still be living here and go trick-or-treating here. That's not a long. Again, we have Piper's Lane, Piper's Creek, Piper's Dale Street, Jade Hill, Meadow Green Street. Again, Piper's Creek, Bandera Road, um, Mill Street, Timber Hill Drive, Moss Creek, Granite, for Shade Creek, Oak Hill. Again, that was by over there by the school, but these right here, Piper's Creek, Meadows Green. Not sure what that is. Micron over here. So again, you want to check near SeaWorld. I'm pretty sure all you gotta do is enter SeaWorld. Oh, there it was. Off of 151 SeaWorld Drive, 78251. You live in this area, it's a little safer, but you do have a couple off of Military and near in between 151 and 1604. So still not too far. Because actually SeaWorld takes up this whole area. So you do have them in the outskirts. Um, so let's go ahead and start with San Antonio's most. Let's go into the 136 data frame. So you zoom in and get a little bit more, and you can see there's literally 5 within one block here. So this is our main, I would say one of our main, we would do like east, this is west side of San Antonio, near, I would say, let me see, where is this at? Castroville. Oh, this is Castroville and Sasamora area. So that's not too far from where we're at. It's a good distance, but not too far. I'm familiar with that area. So again, we have, and I'm talking about these people have been, and once you get to this page, you can, and you find where you're looking at. Again, let's pick something off of Castroville. Um, Mario. Let's do Mario. Mario Davila, Mario Junior Davila. You can open him up, and then it brings you up all his details. What kind of risk level he's in, how long he's going to be on the registration. I seen one already that would be out in like a couple will be off of the sex offender in a couple of years, some in 20 years. This one's a lot of them are on the registry for their lifetime. Of course, their verifications usually annually. It gives you their race, their ethnicity, their height, their weight, their hair color, their eye color, the shoe size, and the shoe width if they have it. Of course, like in his case, he's a Hispanic male at 5'7", 175, 70 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, shoe size 8. This is his most reported picture. Why is it from 2024? I don't know. Again, these are his names that are names associated with him. Mario Junior Davila, Mario Davila, or XX Nino. his date of birth here. Of course, here, the events that happened over his course of time. He registered in Austin as of 2021. His verification with SAPD, was his last one was back on January. His most recent reported information, his address, and then his offenses, what was the offense for: aggravated sexual assault of a child. In this case, the victim was a 9-year-old female. And this was back in, the judgment was back in 2007. So he was put on parole and mandatory supervision. It has any history of any other reported pictures. These go back all the way to 2007, 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23, and then 24. No recent ones for 25. But that one looks familiar for some reason. And then there's also another website you can double check. It's the Nationwide Offender Registry. It kind of has the same information. Sometimes you'll get like tattoo information, like tattoo on left arm, 2 tattoos, or whatever, a little bit more of a description. Um, so again, let's pull up. So if anybody is watching and you want me to do a specific location here in Texas, again, I am trying to stay local to San Antonio because that's where I am located at. But um, but again, if it is in Texas, I will be happy to look it up. Like I believe we can go to Austin from here, Austin, Texas, and it'll show Austin, Texas information. Again, so if you are in Texas, I will be happy to look it up for you while I'm live and showing you this information. Um, let's go to, dude, Denise. But yeah, let's go back to San Antonio. Again, this is more of closer to the area that we are in. Actually, my kids go to school not too far from these people right here, which is kind of cray-cray. Um, Actually, yeah, the school's over here. So let's see, I think there was one that I did want to bring up, but it's fine. We can just kind of, it's this one. And this one is I think this one is by that other school. Again, this one is a white male. His name is Michael Brandon Henderson. He is 6'6" to 205 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes, shoe size 14. These are all the names that he goes by. The last picture reported was back on February 4, 2025. His date of birth, his event types. Again, he was by that school. He was in possession of child pornography of a female 14 years, and as well as indecency with a child by contact with that same female of 14 years of age. He was given parole with mandatory supervision, and here are his most recent photos. As you can tell, he grew out his beard and then he cuts it. So again, a lot of these you just got to go through and definitely, let's pick another. Let's just do San Antonio again. Because this is a lot, and there is no way we're going to be able to cover 100 and something. What is it? 111, 136. Again, this is in the Prospect area, off of near Commerce and Houston. Let's see. There's all these. Let's look up Benitez. Carlos Benitez Alvarez, risk level has not been reported. This is a picture from back from 2008. He was supposed to be on the list for lifetime. He's supposed to check in annually. He is a white male, 5'9", 190 pounds, brown hair, black eyes, and a shoe size of 9.5. He goes by several different names: Benitez, Benitez. Um, he gives two different dates of birth. His primary date of birth is 65, but he may give the officer 64 to throw him off. He was registered and verified back in here in San Antonio. His residential information or reported information, and his offenses were indecency with a child by contact with a 5-year-old female. He was discharged from parole and mandatory supervision. These are his pictures from back from 2000 and 2005. And it doesn't look to be any more current ones than the 2008. It looks like he's back in prison at that point, or jail. Going by looking at the jumpsuit. um Again, just kind of going by, looking at different ones. He's a moderate risk level. He actually gets off in 2045. So this one, let's see how I said like they're not always going to be on this list for a lifetime. Apparently, this one gets off in 2045, which is in about 20 years. So, however old he is now, let's see, he's born in 77, so he's roughly 40. So about 60 something years old, he'll be off he'll be able to get his name off the offender list if he doesn't have any more incidents. So again, he's supposed to be checking in annually. He is a Hispanic male at 5'6", 165 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, shoe size is unknown. He does go by Jesse Ray. I never could say that last name. Wezar. Um, Here's his date of birth. Again, Texas information, his address, and his offenses was aggravated sexual assault on a 13-year-old female, aggravated sexual assault, oh, 2 counts of God, one, two, dude, seriously? Okay, so there's 2 counts of aggravated sexual assault on a 13-year-old female, 1 count of aggravated sexual assault on a 19-year-old female, and again, 1 account of aggravated sexual assault on a 24-year-old female, and these were all dispositioned on the same date. So this must have been a group of people that he tend to violated. Again, to know more about the information, you would have to just go in and look at his cases, look him up by his SIN number, and kind of go in to see what really he has done. Um, these could have just been his children too, and can't say. I wasn't there. Let's keep going. Pedro Hernandez. Let's do you, Pedro Hernandez. You just seem to be the lucky guy today. His risk level is low. He's registered for lifetime. He's verified, supposed to be verified annually. He is a Hispanic male at 5'4", 135 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, shoe size unknown. He goes by Pedro Hernandez. Again, here his Texas resident off of West Houston Street. His offenses were aggravated sexual assault on a 24-year-old female. Disposition was back in 2000, where he received parole and mandatory supervision. I know, again, there is a lot of them here in Texas. So just kind of, again, giving you some different information. Let's see. Hey, Rainbow Tasha, how are you? Welcome. I am just showing everybody San Antonio's sex offenders for Halloween. That way you know exactly where to go and where not to go. And if you do go into any of these locations where any of these sex offenders are, you could be alert and be aware of your surroundings and the people who you are surrounded by. So definitely if you are local here in Texas, I can definitely pull up any kind of information. Give me a zip code. We can look in the area, pull up a couple of people, things like that. But definitely, I'm here to help. Here we are with the moderate risk level. He's supposed to be registered for life. Supposed to check in annually. He is a black male, 6 foot, 220 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. His shoe size is 11. This is the most, obviously, it looks like the most recent photo back in 2020. Again, these are all the names that he goes by or he can go by. Donnell Smith, Rashid Hester, Danielle Christopher Landry, Donnell Christopher Smith, Donnell Christoph Smith, Donnell Christopher Landry. He mixed up all his names all together. He made up so many different aliases. Of course, his primary date of birth and the date of birth he may use. Um, Let's see, these are again information. There are noted the notice here is DPS cannot guarantee the records you obtain through the site relate to the person about whom you are seeking information. Searches based on names, dates of birth, and other alphanumeric identifiers are not always accurate. And then it just says the best way is by fingerprint verification. Down here it just shows more information on his last when he last verified and who he was verified with. His most recent reported information were when he last reported living at. And then, which this one is off of Stonewall Street, zip code 78211. His offenses was indecency with a child by contact, and the victim was a 12-year-old male. This was back in 2006. He was discharged from incarceration. So these are his other photos on file, which was back in 2014 and 2019. And again, this is the most recent one back in 2020. The multiple birthdays, it's probably just something that he uses so that way when he gets pulled over or anything questioned, that's probably the date of birth he uses. You know, most criminals use like their brothers or their sisters or some kind of family members, or they just make up a random birthday or one close to theirs so that way they can't forget their own, I guess. So yeah, it's you'll see there's actually a couple that I've already kind of seen when I was viewing the list before. They have like two or three, and I'm like, just they either flip the month and date. It could be like February 1st, but then they say it's January 2nd, but keep the year. Keep the same month and day, but change the year. So this is their way of trying to avoid detection. Um, so, but good question. Because I was asking the same thing, and that was the only thing I can. I mean, I watched too many cop movies to not figure that one out. But yeah, I've seen. I was like, and the names too. Like, I'm like, where did y'all get these names from? Like, a lot of them stay within their same names. They just kind of say instead of being Ricky, it's Rick Villarreal, or they go by Ricky, or they use an IE. They spell it different, or things like that. They'll do anything to not be detected by the police or to get away be like to that they're identified as a different person. um but again, all these numbers on the map are how many people in that area. So right here is 64. So we were to zoom in closer, it'll bring up close to 64 other dots. So again, the further we go out, the more you can see, like here we're doing the 136 people. Go different parts of town obviously have different numbers, but again, no city. I mean, this is just right here near SeaWorld area, where our SeaWorld is at, the zoo over here. So again, this is just core San Antonio, just the main. And of course you could spread the radius and stuff like that. So we're just kind of going in, like I was saying, if you know anybody in the Texas area or anywhere in the area, we can kind of just look around in that area and see what's going on. Like here we have Anthony Hawthorne. moderate risk level. He's going to be a registered sex offender for the rest of his life. He's supposed to check in annually. He's a black male, 5'7", 145 pounds. Black hair, brown eyes, shoe size unknown. Again, he has different mini aliases. Anthony Hawthorne, Anthony D. Hawthorne, Tony Hawthorne. See that? Kool-Aid or Aid Cool. I don't know how he got that. Guess it's a obviously a nickname, Anthony Donnell Hawthorne. So his middle name may be Donnell. So again, we go down here. The last time he was verified was July 15, 2025 with the SAPD. This is where he reported, living at the time. And his offense was indecency with a child by contact, and this was a 13-year-old female. Um, the disposition was back in 2011 where he was on parole and mandatory supervision. These are alternate pictures from 2013 to 2020. You have 2013, 2014, 2018, 2019, and 2020. His most recent picture is 2021 as of July. Again, you can also go to Nationwide Offender Registry. You can look them up here. They may or may not be here, but it's a hit and miss, but if they do have them on there, it's worth the look, because sometimes they'll have additional information like tattoo information or anything like that. Um, so- and it's crazy. Like I found some that were the kids were as old as as young as 4 years old, 7 years old, that they're either a decent exposure or some type of um again, I'm just randomly picking. Um, this one is Robert Evan Willard. His risk level is high, so he is considered probably a repeated offender. Ending registration day, he's going to be on there for the rest of his life. He's actually required quarterly, so every 3 months he needs to go in and basically check in, verify his information. He is a white male. He is 6 feet, 240 pounds, brown hair, green eyes, shoe size 9.5. He goes by Robert Evan Willard, Bob Willard, Robert Willard, and his primary date of birth. The last time he checked in was back in April of 2025, SAPD, so they should be putting up new information in regards to this since he's supposed to be reported quarterly. So I don't know why they don't update this information like that. Again, this is his reported address, off of La Gloria Street, 78237. These are, oh yeah, he is a repeated offender. Okay, let's see, this is a good one. Well, that was the wrong terminology to use. Okay, offenses. Offenses, indecency with a child by contact. This was, victim was a 10-year-old female. This was back in 92. Indecency with a child by contact. This was an 11-year-old female discharged, disposition date 1992. And another indecency with a child by contact, 11-year-old female. And another indecency with the child by contact, an 11-year-old female. So that one, two, three. So there was 4 kids total, probably a group of people, and 3 of them were 11. One of them was 10. He was discharged from parole and on mandatory supervision. Here are his photos from 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, and his most current one in 2008. And by the looks of it, he may well be in there again, since it doesn't look like he was reporting quarterly like he's supposed to. Um, Next. Let's click over here. And I'm just randomly clicking because obviously we know there are thousands of sex offenders on here. Let's do you. So we have Antonio Salazar. He is a moderate risk level. registered for lifetime and checks in annually. He is a Hispanic male at 5'5", 165 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, shoe size 10. He goes by Antonio Salazar, Antonio Jesus Salazar, or Antonio J. Salazar. There's his date of birth. And his last verification was back in September 30th of 2025 with the SAPD. And his reported residence is off of Morema, 78237. His offense was indecency with a child by contact. He was a 16-year-old female. This was back into he was charged back into disposition back in 2007 and discharged from probation and community supervision. Here is his photo back from 2007, probably when all this went down. And then here's it's 2016, so not much has changed. He looks like he kept the same kind of hairstyle. That might even be the same picture actually, just colored. Now that I look at it. San Antonio, you don't keep the best records, do y'all guys? You guys really suck at this. Okay. Like, don't y'all have like a checklist? Let's see. Rudy Rodriguez, moderate risk level ending. He's going to be on there for a lifetime. He's supposed to verify annually. He's a Hispanic male at 5'7", 230 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, shoe size 10. So again, last verified on September 11th of 2025 off of Charbon Drive, 78237. His offenses is sexual assault towards a 15-year-old female. And this was back in 2007 where he was on parole and mandatory supervision. Here are his pictures, 2007, 2008, 2010, and 2016. Pretty much looks the same. He either gains a little weight, drops a little weight, cuts off his little beard or mustache or something. This is the most recent picture in 2025. So he's pretty much old now. He's probably in his 50s. I wasn't paying attention to his date of birth. So again, let's change areas. Let's go over here by, what is this, by Lackland, I believe. Kelly, by Kelly. Let's see. Let's see. I'll just kind of zoom, 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 zoom. Valentino Guzman or Guzman. He's low risk level. He's on there for lifetime. Hispanic male, 5'10", 188 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, shoe size unknown. He goes by Valentino or Valentine or Valentine. Last verification was on January of 2025. His last reported address was off of Imperial Boulevard in 78226. His offense was aggravated sexual assault on a 25-year-old female. This was back in 2002, and he was incarcerated. So he may not even be out. He's probably still doing time. I could be mistaken for that. I don't know. So if y'all know how the system works about letting people out, please let me know. So again, we're back. Let's go to 5 Points. This is near, kind of like not too far from San Antonio College. So again, around a college campus. Let's see, Robert Dwayne Lee. His risk level has not been reported yet. He's on there for lifetime. He is his black male, 5'8", 165 pounds, black hair, hazel eyes, 9.5 shoe size. He goes by Robert Dwayne Lee, Robert D. Butts, or Robert D. Lee. There's his date of birth in 1960. His last verification was on May 5th, 2025. His last reported address was off of East Quincy Street. at 78215, and his incident was indecency with a child by contact for a 4-year-old female. Oh my goodness, this was a baby. Sickening. Okay, July. This is his picture back from 2002, and this is his picture from 2008. Not sure why there isn't a more recent picture when you are literally touching a 4-year-old. That's that's disgusting. That's disgusting. Poor baby. Maybe I'll make a series on just the sex offenders and like kind of go over their cases and what they do and see if they really are living at these locations where they said they're living. Maybe we'll do a little investigative work. I just wish I had a camera that was a to-go camera, you know what I mean? Like one of those Go Sports or Pro Sport, GoPros or whatever they're called. Um, because once my phone dies, my phone dies. Let's see, let's do a Dennis Williams. Again, risk level not reported. Why doesn't he have a photo? Black male, 5'10", 135 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes, 9.5 shoes. He goes by Dennis Williams. Birth dates. His primary birth date, he's years in 1990, but he also states that he gives the 1970 birthday, so he may give off like his mom's date of, I mean his dad's date of birth or his brother's date of birth. Last verification was back in 2021 of March. Um, his last residence that he was reported was off of East Euclid Avenue. His offense was sexual assault on a 24-year-old female, and this was back in 96 when he got 10 years discharge from not reported unknown. So I'm assuming he didn't report, so he got 10 years. Probably why we don't have a picture. Again, I'm not savvy with lingo, so I can't be total what all of this terminology is. I can't say if that was his judgment at the time or that's his judgment now because he didn't report. I don't know. Or I don't know. I'm not a criminal, guys. I just give out information. Look, oh, we have a female. Whitney Riley. Risk level low. She's registered for a lifetime. She is a black female at 5'6", 110 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes with the shoe size of 7.5. Date of birth is 1988. She goes by Whitney Riley or Whitney Nicole Riley or Whitney Nicole Anderson. I try to put the emphasis because she spells them different, one with the A and one with the I. Nicole and Nicole. So again, the last time that was reported was her change of status back in 2021 of November with the SAPD, again staying off of East Euclid Avenue. Her offense was aggravated sexual assault of an 11-year-old male. This was back in 2006. She got 5 years discharge for incarceration, so she must have gotten 5 years. Photo reported back in 2011, so when she got out, apparently. um some of the things I can kind of put together, and this is her last photo in 2021. Again, if anybody's watching off of Facebook, you know what, I don't even know if I can get chats from Facebook and stuff like that. I guess so, they should come in. Oh, maybe not Facebook. Let me put it on. hmm okay, so if anybody's on Facebook watching as well, I go ahead and send in under the comment and we will look at the locations together as well if you are watching. Again, let's just go back to let's say 27822. Let's go back to 7238. So here we are. Let's look up Preston Marshall Lamb. Again, moderate lifetime. He's a white male, 5'9", 250 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes, shoe size 10 and a half. Again, he either goes by Preston Marshall or Preston M. Um, his last date of verification was back on January 2025, staying right there off of Northwest Loop 410. It says room, so I'm assuming it has to be like a hotel of some sort. Zip code 78238. His offenses was indecency with a child by contact, 13-year-old male. This happened back in 2005. Discharged from not reported unknown. You have 2006, 2011 photos down here and here. And also, if you do go over here, they might even have different photos of this, sometimes even like the actual mugshot. So again, I would utilize both if you can. Like here, Preston Marshall Lamb. Again, all you gotta do is just Marshall Lamb, and it'll pull up. If there's more than one, it'll just say what city and state. Just pick the closest one. Again, it'll bring up more. It'll have photos. Sometimes they'll have different photos than the one on the registry. Again, here's where they will have like if they have tattoos or anything like that. And then it just shows, um, again, there was one that came from another part of Texas, and it brought up some information. I think it was actually not even Texas. I think it was like New Mexico. So it was like a totally different state, and I was able to your get kind of both information because he probably had ties both in Mexico and I mean New Mexico and in Texas. Um, Here's one that's not too far. This one's right here off of Warsbach Road. Um, 3703 Warsbach Road. He's a black male, 5'9", 190 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. Again, he goes by several different aliases: Anthony D. Wayne Swindle, Anthony Swindle, Anthony D. Swindle, Anthony Jr. Swindle, Tony Swindle, Anthony D. Swindle, Anthony A. Swindle, and Anthony D. Wayne Swindle. So he just took out the H. Again, here he used February, his primary date of birth is in February of 77, and then his alias date of birth is January of 76. Um, Last time he was verified was back in November of 2024 at the address of Warsbach Road, 78238. His offense was burglary of habitation with the intent to violate or abuse the victim sexually. So he broke into somebody's house to try to sexually abuse them. It was a 34-year-old female was the victim, and this was back in 2007 where he was put on parole and mandatory supervision. Here are his photos from 2019, 2021, 2023, and his most current one. Oh, that was his most current one was 2023. And then let's keep going. Michael Johnson, moderate, he's on there for lifetime. White male, 5'9", 210, red or auburn hair, hazel eyes, 11 shoe size. He goes by Michael Shannon Johnson, Michael S. Johnson, Michael Johnson. His date of birth is May of 1980. His last verification was June of 2025 with the SAPD, and he is reported to be staying at the Pipe Spring Street, 78238. His offense was sexual battery on a 31-year-old female. Back in 2006, he was put on probation and community supervision. God, that Brandon Henderson just creeps me because, ugh, I don't know what it is about him. Just creeps me out. Let's see. Joshua Scott, another one not too far. Scott Crocker. He is a white male, 5'6", 160 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes, shoe size 8. He has several aliases. His date of birth is October of 1980. He goes, last verified was in September 2025, where he reported to be staying off of Timber Hill Drive, 78238. I guess that's one of the main streets around here. So again, this is why more than likely my kids would not be doing Halloween unless their dad takes them himself, because I'm not going to be a part of that. Offenses, aggravated sexual assault of a child. Victim was a 13-year-old female. This was back in 2012, where he received parole and mandatory supervision. Again, this is one that would kind of change his appearance. One moment he has glasses, next moment he doesn't. He has hair, he doesn't have hair. 2019, 2020, 23, and 24. And then, of course, your most recent one of October 2024, where he just grew his hair out a little longer and more of a beardy look. Again, I think this one we might actually find Schwartz. Let me see. Scott. What was his name? Scott what? Crocker. I don't know if we were able to find him over here. No. So again, not all of them are in the other, but it's always good to look. Um, Billy Bob. Hmm. Billy Bob. Billy Bob is a Hispanic male at 5'10", 180 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. He actually goes by Billy Bob Reyes, Edward Garcia, Billy Reyes, and Billy B. Reyes. So he actually has 3 date of births that he uses. His primary date of birth, which is February of 1961, but he also uses November of 63 and April of 69. Again, they could be anything. They could be their brothers, siblings, or parents' date of births, for all we know. Um, SAPD was verified as of January 28th of 2025 off of Dovefly Street, 78250. So again, this was aggravated sexual assault of a child. A 10-year-old female was the victim. Back in December of 97, he was discharged from parole mandatory supervision. And this is his photo back from 2000. And his most current one from 2013. Again, he looks old, so he may actually be in like hospice or something, but not saying nothing. See who's over here. Raimundo Vasquez. He's on there for lifetime. He is a Hispanic male at 6'2", 185 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. He goes by Raimundo Vasquez. May of 64 is his date of birth. The last time he checked verified was May of 2025 with SAPD. He lives off of Brookville, 78238. His offense was indecency with a child by contact, and the victim was a 6-year-old female. This was back in 2017. He was put on parole and mandatory supervision. So again, if anybody knows anybody who is in the San Antonio, even Texas area, even we couldn't even travel to Austin for a little bit. Let's do Austin. If you guys are going out for trick-or-treating, please reconsider. Keep your children home. Play some board games. Order some Panda Express. Enter the code 9006879 in the checkout box for the fundraiser, and you could be saving a life. You save your kid's life by keeping them home from trick-or-treating and save a life that is in an abusive situation. Because with some of those proceeds, Panda Express will donate to Vivid Lifestyles BBLS. So let's see. Terrence Darnell Scott's lifetime sex offender annually. He's a black male at 6'5", 215 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, shoe size 12. He goes by Terrence Darnell Scott. Terrence Darnell Scott. He just spells it with one R, one like T-Lock or T-Lo. T-Lo is his name, I guess, street name, Scottello. Excuse me. His date of birth is in July of 72. He was last verified in Austin PD as of August of 2023. His last location was West 38th Street, RMICU. So, ooh, I don't know if that was like a hospital room. Room ICU. Oh, yeah. So his offenses was indecency with a child by contact, to a 14-year-old female back in 98. He was 4 years discharged from not reported unknown. So again, from back all the way to 2005 to 2022, here's all his pictures. He looks evil. And then some. Okay. Here is another female. Ooh, and she's high. Okay, guys. So we have Lindsay Blair Rochmel. Rotramel. Her risk level is high. She'll be on there for a lifetime. She's supposed to be reporting quarterly. She's a white female, 5'5", 189 pounds, brown hair, hazel eyes, shoe size 10. She goes by Lindsay Blair Rotsramel, or Lindsay or Lindsay. Her date of birth is in February of 82, and her last verification was back in October with the Austin PD. Her location is Connolly Street, 78751. Offenses was indecency with a child by contact to a 14-year-old male. Also, a sexual assault to the 14-year-old male, and indecency with a child by contact to a 14-year-old male. This was back in 2006 and discharged from incarceration. Here back in 2009, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2018, 2019, 2020, 20, 21, 22, 23, and 24. And this is 25. So again, this is in Austin, Texas. Let's try Hondo, Texas. Let's see how many are near. Hondo, Texas. You're about an hour out from San Antonio. So let's see what y'all got in Hondo. This one sounds familiar. I used to live out in Hondo too. Faustino Tino Ortiz, moderate lifetime annually. He is a Hispanic male, 5'4", 160 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. His date of birth is March of 89, but he also gives a different date of March 3rd of 89. His last change of status was back in July of 2025, and now he is incarcerated in Texas. Offenses is a sexual assault to a 16-year-old female back in 2012. He was discharged from incarceration at that time, but currently he is incarcerated right now. So these pictures are fact from 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 23, 25. That's one of the most recent. That picture looks familiar too. So again, Let's do 78251 area code. Edmund Carter, moderate. Ending registration is going to be 9/6 of 2035. So he only has 10 more years on the registration list. Of course, that is pending due to continuous behavior. Um, he is a black male, 5'11", 157 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, shoe size 11. He goes by Damon Carter or Damon Jermaine Carter. His date of birth is August of 95. The last time he registered was, he registered as of August 26, 2025. His last verification, this one backwards. His last verification was September 11, 2025 with the SAPD. His information reported off of Tiger Hills, San Antonio, Texas, 78251. To a 16-year-old female, he did indecency with a child by exposure. This was back in 21 where he was incarcerated. So again, if anybody is on here and if you want me to look, and you are located in Texas, if you want me to look up a certain city, a certain location, certain zip code, just so you can see the numbers, again, David Pike, moderate, lifetime annual. He is a Hispanic male at 5'10", 150 pounds, brown hair, hazel eyes, shoe size is 10. David Pike, David Anthony Pike, April of 84 is his date of birth. His last verification was April 24th of 2025 with SAPD. He stays off of Meadow Forest Street, San Antonio, Texas, 78251. His offense was indecency with a child by contact to a 10-year-old female. Back in 2007, he was discharged from not reported. Again, 2007 is his photo there, and 2008 is his photo here. So again, something I would take precaution this Halloween. You definitely want to be careful when y'all go trick-or-treating. Let me bring up. No, I don't want that. Let me see if I can bring up my. Here it is. Oops. I'm going to show you. Share screen. So we're going to share this window. So this is our fundraising. Just go to Panda Express or pandaexpress.com or through the app. Order for pickup or delivery. Apply the code 9006879 in the fundraiser code box at checkout. Again, this is through the pandaexpress.com or via the app. And set it up for pickup or delivery. Again, this is something, it's on October 31st. We're doing scare the predators and trying to keep the kids safe. So with that, with your order, by staying home on Halloween and not participating in trick-or-treating and not putting your kids at risk, you're also, with your order, you're also saving lives of people who are victims and survivors of abuse, with temporary safe housing, with medical mental health care, with personal hygiene, food, clothing, transportation, even helping them with documents such as getting their passport, things like that, things that will help them stay safe and continue a well-deserved life with their family and loved ones. So again, Vivid Lifestyles is having a fundraiser on October 31st through Panda Express. Just go to pandaexpress.com or via the app, enter the code at the end, check out for pickup or delivery, and Panda Express would donate some of those proceeds to Vivid Lifestyles VVLS. Again, providing resources to the abused children, elderly men, women, and veterans. So, again, be careful out there, guys. Um, Stay safe. I will be on here live doing this week the Halloween theme. I'm gonna try to be recording videos and keeping those videos updated as well, because I know I'm trying to go up to 2 or 3 videos a day, and hopefully I will have more, because there is a lot of stuff happening in San Antonio, and I'm trying to push out as much as possible, as well as trying to say, you know, um, work-life balance, kind of thing. So with that said, again, if anybody wants me to look up for tomorrow when I come on live, if anybody has any locations that they want me to look up specifically, just to give you a generalized idea of how many predators are in there, we can look at a few, open them up. You can give me more of like a street name or an area, maybe even crossroads, general, like a highway, like if let's just say 151 410 area, or 604 and Petranco area. You could just give me the major crossroads, and we can look in that generalized area. That way to keep you safe as well. I'm not trying to like pinpoint your location or anything, because that's the whole point, is to keep everybody safe. But if you just have like a even the zip code or the county, or again, the city, or things like that, and we could just look at it generally, and that way you can kind of get an idea, whether you want to be a part of Halloween this year, or you choose to save your children and save your soul. And again, if you go to the QR code at the top, that one leads to the fundraiser. So if you click on that, you'll go straight to, it should bring you to this page. No, it's going to bring you to the landing page. No, that is the landing page. And then it's just going to, from here, you just click the order now, and boom, it'll send you to pandaexpress.com, and then you can order from there. I guess you know. You gotta just go back over there. No, go, 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 go. Butt monster. Sorry, one of my dogs is getting loose right now. Up here. Up here. Ay, niña. What? What? Brothers are gonna be home to take you out. That's their job. That's their job to take you out. Can you get back to your spot? Hmm? I'm almost done here. No, don't do that. Come on. Put mommy pants down. Okay. Yes, I'm still in pajamas, halfway dressed. I only get partially dressed for you guys. So with that said, again, it brings you to the Panda Express website, and you just order, put in your location, find your Panda Express at the top. Everybody knows how to order food online or through the app. Again, don't forget to enter the code 9006879 at checkouts. So, again, Vivid Lifestyles, VVLS, 9006879 at checkout. It's pretty plain and simple. Keep your kids safe, save another person's life or their family, help them out. Definitely, or go to Vivid, or go to the Cash App down below, go to the PayPal. Either way, you could donate. Go to the website, donate there, vividlifestyles dash VVLS.com. Hit the donate button. Actually, let's go there now so you can kind of see. Let me refresh. Here you go. Here's the home. Donate here. You just gotta click here. Those are other stuff once you get used to. Just go here, donate. You could donate $20, $50, $100, $200, or other. leave a comment, put it what you want it for. Um, right now, you could just put donation, donate, whatever. Um, it goes towards the abuse. Now, I know starting November, depending on the government shutdown and whether they stop SNAP benefits and things like that, we may be doing extra GoFundMe's or extra fundraising just for people who are in need due to government issues. Again, kind of go through here. Here's the home. Under home, you have services, events, resources. So events is where you can go and you can view everything that's happening. So here we have the Restoring Hope, the Scare the Predators fundraisers here on October 31st. These were our other ones that we have had in the past. Definitely trying to get more fundraising events coming up in person and online. Again, you can go here and support the community um, by our by I just heard like the purge music. It's weird. Um, go here. You can have see view some of our services that I offer. Traveling consultation, service fees, conferences, things like that. Planning services. All our services here are travel services or our planning services. Our planning services are like wedding events, party events, anything like that. Travel services, obviously, if you're looking at destination weddings, vacations, things like that, all across the world, international or just national. And these are some of the things you can do. I do offer a free 30-minute consultation. So if you have any questions, that's the best one to book, and then we can go always go from there. We do have several packages when it comes to things like that. If you go to like cancer pricing, you can get like the 3-session travel pack, which includes, like the consultation, the service fee, and things like that. And then it'll get you for like certain time spent with me. We'll meet up like certain amount of times that we are definitely going to have to meet. Those are required into the package. Of course, we have our Allison Stoner book reading club. This is just the club itself for you to express yourself amongst other members in the club. We do have um, what is it? The groups. I think it's the groups. Yeah, no, it's not the groups. Program list. Okay, program list. So with the Allison Stoner, if you want to, you do the book talk lounge. And with the book talk lounge, you'll actually have access to this and the Alistair Stoner part of it. So you'll get both with this program. And then with this program, this actually tells you when you read the book, it just has you go deeper into it. Um, it just goes step by step throughout. Like it gives you kind of outline of how, like like kind of how many pages you should read and kind of things like that, and ways to reflect off of the book. How does her experience compare to your experiences growing up? How would you be able to deal with that was to happen to you? Just to basically critical thinking on the book and to help you um, find your own emotions and things like that. So again, that's kind of what this is going. Again, it's part of the group discussion, which I said like y'all can get together, do videos, put your own information out there, kind of reach out to each other if you're not understanding a specific part of the book, or if you're not understanding a certain part of the book. Definitely good resource to use. And again, if we go back, there was one for Restoring Hope. This is for our Restoring Hope network. Um, these are for our volunteers. So if you go here, just like the book, we have one for the volunteers. It just helps you go deeper into becoming a better volunteer. It helps you communicate or keep in contact with other volunteers, whether locally or nationally or things like that, to see what you can do to better effort into the organization or just as you as a person. So there, it just gives you different ways of becoming a better person and a better volunteer, especially if you're struggling with the the things we're volunteering for. So it can get overwhelming and it can get, so you always want to have like that support system there. So again, that's the programs. And then of course like I said, the volunteers, the Allison Stoner. So the volunteers is $5 a month just for you to kind of communicate with each other and things like that. And for volunteers, this kind of helps bring money back into the organization. That's like your way of kind of like tithing and things like that. But it's just your way of keeping the organization basically running. So our volunteers um, are a big part of our organization. They support us a lot. Um, so that is just a monthly fee, $5, and you'll be able to have, again, be able to communicate with other volunteers. Again, the Restoring Hope Network, because our volunteers are called Restoring Hope Angels. So our Restoring Hope Angels are part of this Restoring Hope Network. So with that Restoring Hope Network, not only will you have access to these volunteers, but with that program, that Restoring Hope Network program I was telling you about, again, it pushes you to become a better volunteer. It's asking, are these the only ways you can contribute into being a volunteer? Are there other ways you can help the community out or the organization out or things like that? So and then eventually I do want to get one just for the victims and one for survivors. So but again, the victims and the survivors will be on a invitation only basis. So those will be people who are actually applying for some type of benefit, and then those people will actually be invited into this group. So that way, not only will they have resources coming from me, but resources coming from other victims, and support from other victims and survivors. So again, just something, again, we have, um, oops, under here we have refer friends. So you can always refer your friends, families, things like that. You can give your friends $100 discount and get 50 discount for each of your friend who books a session. So these are for those sessions and things like that. So, and then the next one is the gift cards. You can always give a gift card to somebody, and they'll be able to use it towards something on our website. Um, Again, I think the referral of the friends was just only for certain things. Of course, home, it has again, your services. These are what we do. We offer safe housing, essential food, clothing, personal hygiene, baby products, medical, mental health care. Um, and then this is our resources. I do have to go back and clean up this a little bit, but you can look up resources according to child, adult, elderly, or veterans. If you go in, it just kind of gives you numbers, telephone numbers, the National Abuse Hotline, the Child Protective Services in Canada. So things like that. I will go back and add, there's a lot more information that I do need to add to these, but again, in due time, me, myself, and I will eventually get it done. Go to adults, it's the same thing. You have your domestic violence hotline, your sexual violence resource centers, substance abuse and mental health, things like that. Elderly, again, the National Elder Hotline, and of course, We have the typicals, suicidal hotline, the 988. Go to the veterans. You have your list of veterans. Actually, we're still working on the veterans one, but definitely um, we'll eventually get there. I do have a lot of information that I have. I just haven't been able to get on here and really um, adjust anything. And then, of course, the blog. Um, you can go in and read these at any time. I will try to do a new one very soon because I do need to do one for the book club as well. So eventually we'll all get it together. Once we get more volunteers, we'll have more people being able to have access to this or be able to update this and be updated and be refreshed more often. And then of course you can contact me. So with that said, this Halloween, don't forget, scare the predators, order from Panda Express, and keep your children safe. Don't entertain Halloween. I think the only reason I don't want my kids to go. If anything, I will go by myself. Well, not literally by myself, but I'll be with the I'll travel with I'll stay present within groups and stuff like that. I'm not one to go off on my own like that. I'll be like, "Oh, there's a group of kids. I'm just going to stay 10 feet behind you," but that way there is if something was to happen, I could scream there will be witnesses and things like that. So, uh but if anything, I would probably be out there more so expressing promoting my organization and expressing um the essential of this fundraiser and the benefits of what it can do. But until then, I am good. So with that said, I just want to say heart to everybody for being here. Heart, heart, hearts. Thank you for being here. Hopefully, some of this information is useful to you guys. Again, I would try to work on some videos for tomorrow. I am falling behind because my weekend was kind of overloaded. And that is pretty much it. So I am going to go for today. Thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share this video, share the information, share the fundraiser. Again, all these funds are being going towards a good cause. And at the same time, you are spending time with your family, enjoying a nice meal from Panda Express. So thank you for being here. Again, don't forget like, subscribe, share. Don't forget to donate. Don't forget to go visit the fundraiser. Don't forget to visit my website. All this sorts of stuff. If you have any um, comments, please please let me know in the comment section if there is a specific location that you want me to do here in Texas, and we will explore the sex offenders in that location. So we will be doing this for the rest of the week until Halloween, and until then, I advise that everyone stay safe. Thank you. You guys have a good day.